Hello, my name is Kira Hachtel. So for this project, I've chosen an object that is not important to me as an object, but is important to me, I think, symbolically. When I originally read this assignment, I interpreted it as being an object that defines myself. And I'm proud to say that I don't feel defined by objects. However, I do love stuff, and I have accumulated quite a number of little things to decorate my library. And while I was looking for something, I came across this teeny tiny bust of William Shakespeare. So he's carved out of wood. I think I bought him at the thrift store for 50 cents. He doesn't have a price tag on him anymore. And I bought him just to decorate my shelves. But I think he's a really appropriate, I think he represents some really appropriate parts of myself. So I chose William Shakespeare because of my love of literature. So I started, well, golly, I didn't start loving literature until I was maybe in college, but I had always loved Shakespeare. I grew up in Boulder and going to the Shakespeare Festival every summer with my family. We have a couple of go-to Shakespeare productions, movies, usually by Kenneth Branagh, that we've sort of fallen in love with, and he's been really significant. And as I have grown into my kind of literary and academic self, I have found that Shakespeare's wordplay, his ability to invent understandable new words, and his ability to manipulate syntax and word choice in such a way that he can say many things all at the same time. I find those, if not to be really representative of myself, I find that the characteristics that Shakespeare represents inspire me, and so in that way he defines me. I also had the great experience of having my very first class that I taught as a TA be Shakespeare for non-majors. So he is representative in that sense also of my teaching career, which is still in the process of taking off, I hope. The other thing about this Shakespeare figurine, bust, whatever we'll call him, is that on the other side of my personality, sort of my defining characteristics or how I see myself, in addition to being an academic, I am dedicated to craft. What does that mean? I like making things. So before I became an academic advisor, I was a welder and a machinist. And before that, I was a woodshop safety monitor. I've always loved building things. My second major in undergraduate, which I didn't ever finish, was studio art, and I focused primarily on woodworking. So I've built a guitar from scratch. I've built an almost functioning floor loom from scratch. And I've recently, very recently, gotten into carving. So this sort of crude, not crude, very charming little bust of Shakespeare, I think really kind of embodies the union of my two main passions. So that's Shakespeare. That's me and a Shakespeare.